Hello and welcome back to Sydney Summit, live here on Twitch. Today we're going to talk about an exciting topic, chatbots and CI/CD. I'm Sean Ray, your host, and with me I've got my AWS-powered chatbots.
Dr. Pete, I run the solution architecture team here in Australia and New Zealand, and
I am Kurosh. I'm the solution architect focusing on machine learning in Sydney.
And joining us as a special guest today from NIB is Matt.
Matt Finch, Head of Emerging Technology.
Okay, so today we're going to go through some content that Matt has prepared. They've been using chatbots in production. Often we hear about chatbots, we see things like proof of concepts, and what we really want to dive into is how you do that in a production-like environment where you're actually integrated it with the rest of your system. So over to you, Matt.
Before we begin, Matt, can you maybe tell everybody, because we have thousands of people watching the live stream, what is NIB? Because we're down under here in Sydney, Australia. Who and what is NIB?
So NIB is a health insurance company, but we're really focused on a vision of people all around the world enjoying better health. We're growing quite rapidly globally. We're expanding into the travel insurance business, so as people are traveling and enjoying themselves, we want to make sure that they stay healthy and look after them if they fall sick overseas. And we're also growing into the New Zealand market quite rapidly. So we're really focused on our members' health, and starts with health insurance, but it grows much further beyond that as well.
Awesome, cool.
Fantastic.
All right, take it away.
Okay, great. So we'll get the slides up here, and really we started off with web chat about 18 months ago running on our website. So we had a chat that our customers could jump on and start talking with our NIB contact center agents and having conversations about their policies and their health. But we started to observe that some of these chats were not very efficient, and the customers weren't always getting to the right agents or getting the right information. So we thought to ourselves, how might we actually make this web chat experience more efficient for us on the back end, but actually a better experience for our customers as well. And so we started exploring the problem space, and we started to identify, I guess, a few different issues that were occurring and different value demand as part of our chat. We noticed that a lot of
I see in the first slide here, you've got international can't be handled by a chat. Well, the web's kind of global. Can you just explain, do you mean kind of more like location, language, or something like that?
Yeah, I guess that's a bit more contextual for us. So our international contact center weren't geared up at the time to actually handle the chat. So as our customers were jumping in on the web, they were trying to chat about their international policies, they'd actually end up with a call center agent who could only handle domestic Australian policies, for example.
Right. Okay,
and so then they'd get rerouted around, and then they'd get given a phone number, and it really, at times this could take up to 10 minutes for them to get the right information. It wasn't efficient on our side, and it really wasn't a great customer experience either.
Okay, awesome.
So yeah, and we noticed this really across a few different categories. Our hospital inquiries were going to the wrong agents. We really didn't have a lot of reporting around this. It was fairly rudimentary. And so we started thinking, how could we actually tackle this? We try to be very problem-driven, not solution-driven. And so for us, it really started to come together in Nibby the chatbot. And so this is what Nibby looks like here. You can jump onto our website right now, nib.com.au/contact us. Have a chat with Nibby if you want.
So we have a question, by the way, sorry to interrupt. We have a question from Teresa Finch. What made NIB decide on the name Nibby? How did you guys come up with the cool name?
We actually put it to a vote. So we went out.
Teresa Finch.
That's my wife.
I wasn't going to mention that, but now that you have.
Hi, honey.
By the way, guys,
People sat in the chat.
This is live TV, so for those of you others who are watching, not family or friends, don't be shy. Please ask us questions, and Matt will answer them for you.
Jump in, that's it. So look, Nibby, we went to a vote. We just put it out to all of our employees and said, what should we name our chatbot? Chatty McChatface came in and as a close second, so I guess we got lucky there, but we landed on Nibby, and that's what came through, and that was the popular vote. So
awesome.
Yeah, so Nibby's backed by Amazon Lex, as you can see there, a machine learning service that's developed at Amazon, provides natural language understanding right out of the box. And then we train it up and build a bunch of integration around it, so we can integrate with our call centers, our self-service portals, and do transactions for our employees.
So another question from the same person, oddly enough, Teresa Finch. At what point will the chatbot be able to do much more things like do claims processing, etc.?
Yeah, so I mean that's something that we're working towards is full transactions. So being able to jump in and have a conversation with Nibby and then can discuss your account and talk about claiming and talk about policy information. So that's on the roadmap for us for the next 12 or 18 months.
Cool, thanks for that.
Okay.
All right, back to the show.
Yeah, so look, what was the outcome? What did that look like for us? We really focused on rapid experimentation, rapid release, and we really focused on taking this idea of building a chatbot to solve some of these problems and getting it in front of our customers really, really quick. And so the first release for us was out in 6 weeks, which was really rapid release for us.
So I mean, 5 weeks of ping pong, 1 week of coding.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I'm pretty good at ping pong.
How many data scientists?
0.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
0 data scientists. So
Awesome.
There's a trend developing here. Data scientists, do we really need them? I don't know.
Dr. Nick, you're like,
Definitely we're going to need them. We're definitely going to need them, but look, these are amazing business results. 25% of chats fully self-serviced.
Yeah,
They didn't need human.
That's right.
Massive.
We've put a big focus on driving that number up as well, and look at how we can get that number to be much, much higher going into the future. And this isn't about replacing, what our contact center is doing. It's about augmenting them and taking the low-hanging fruit and helping our customers have a better experience.
So Matt, can we talk about agility and pipelines and CI/CD for chatbots? So I'm seeing 200 plus deployments. Tell us more.
Yeah, so at NIB we've really adopted a full infrastructure as code practice. We really want to make sure that we can deliver releases very fast to our customers and get change in. It's really interesting with the chatbot. We basically need to load in a lot of training data to make Nibby smarter, make Nibby be able to handle more conversations. And if we didn't have the continuous delivery pipelines around this, it would actually require us taking the chatbot offline, loading those changes in, and then bringing Nibby back on. We want Nibby on 24/7 though, and we want every conversation you're having with Nibby's learning and getting smarter over time. So being able to do 200 deployments. So one thing I guess
around that is, does that mean, say, I might go onto the chat now and then maybe tomorrow, will there be multiple versions of the live chatbot running with a different kind of, understanding or engine underneath?
Or like A/B kind of stuff?
Yeah, is there like V1 and VT running at the same time?
Yeah, so we can send our feature branches basically for our chatbots and have a number of different chatbots running at the same time. You might have a chat with Nibby now. You might ask something that Nibby doesn't understand, and we can see that behind the scenes. We'll take that phrase that you used or the sentence you wrote in, and we'll use it to make Nibby smarter, better, and then maybe the next hour Nibby will have a different version and be having a different conversation.
I'm excited to see how many people have just gone to the actual chatbot Nibby in Twitch now and are just randomly pumping in things. May not be an NIB customer.
You may have just gone through the roof.
We'll jump in and have a look after this.
We'll fix the stats. Don't worry.
That's good. So look, I mean, this is the architecture behind Nibby. Just drilling a little deeper in. It's fairly simple. It's a fully serverless architecture, so we put a big focus on building out a completely serverless platform for Nibby. You can see there we've got the static chat interface that I showed earlier, hosted out of S3. It's calling a Lambda that sits in front of Lex. It's basically brokering the conversation, making sure that the user's authenticated, making sure we're logging all of the requests, sending that request through to...
So for people who are watching, so Lambda is a function as a service. You put some code in there, Node.js, Python, .NET, Dr. Pete, just in case you need that. And you can basically run this function in response to events that come in.
And you only pay for what you use. So if no one calls you, there's no invocations, there's no cost. It's a zero cost. So by the way, how much do you guys pay for all this stuff? Just curious.
How much is it?
Yeah.
You can just talk about it in number of beers or cartons.
Or Big Macs.
We don't want to break any NDAs or anything.
It's less than a Big Mac meal a month.
Right.
How cool is that?
That's awesome. It really is awesome. And you know what? Like Dr. Pete said, it really grows with demand. So as more people use it, that has the cost ratchet up.
Can we say every line of chat is a Lambda call?
Yeah, it is actually. Every conversation, every line of chat that's put in that conversation is a Lambda call. Cool. Absolutely.
Nice. I love it.
And then so we built a number of fulfillment lambdas, as you can see there as well, that call out to our different services, like transferring to our live agents, or returning information from our knowledge base, or completing those transactions that I mentioned earlier. So it's fully serverless, fully event-driven, and grows as we scale.
Okay.
So, pre-built AI is great. It's good to be able to take these machine learning models off the shelf and use them until it's not, right? And so for us, we ran into some really interesting challenges from the get-go, particularly as we wanted to do continuous delivery around these chatbots. So very early on, we had to start introducing regression testing into our pipeline. What we found was when we got up to 15 or more different intents, and intents are the trained models that are sitting inside Lex. As these intents started to grow, we would make one change to an intent, and then there would be a...
Sorry, Mike, can you please elaborate a little bit more on intents? What are intents?
Yeah, definitely. So when you're working with Lex, you basically take all of the queries or utterances that your customers might type in about a certain topic. Let's say claims, for example. Somebody might say, how do I make a claim, or where do I go to make a claim? And so we take all of those queries and then we train an intent to handle claims. An intent is, what's the intent of the person? What are they trying to do?
Excellent.
So the intent might be called claims intent, right?
So the more complex this thing got, it had some more challenges, obviously.
That's it. So it started to grow out and we got up to 15, 20, more and more intents. And so we'd be training one and adding new utterances in, and then another intent would change. And what that resulted in was that conversations with Nibby weren't flowing the way we expected them to, because we were doing such rapid delivery. So we had to basically build a regression testing suite around that. And what that looked like is a bunch of pre-canned conversations that we could load into Nibby every time we made a change to make sure the conversation flowed and the right answers were coming out as we expected.
That's cool. I can start an open source project maybe over here somewhere.
Agent-based simulation for Nibby Chatbot.
Looking forward.
That's it.
Matt, who was responsible, or what team was responsible for creating intents?
They were a development team basically, and so we partnered with a company called DS to build this out as well, and then we had our own internal delivery team
in Australia.
Yeah, so just our development team and our delivery team were building out these intents. We also worked very, very closely with our contact center. So this was a cross-functional team. We brought people in from our contact center who know how to work with our customers, and they helped us build out the types of questions customers could ask and how that looked.
So back to the challenge, right?
Yeah, so now these regression tests are running automatically. We've got a bunch of custom CloudFormation resources that we've built out as well, so we can build these Lex bots in real time, and we can run these tests through, and everything's great. But yeah, like we've really put a lot of focus on building out the experience around this chatbot, and that's the great thing about having pre-built AI off the shelf.
So Matt, you're head of emerging tech. You've obviously built some cool tech here. What's next? What's emerging? Yeah. What's happening in the NIB space?
So we're really focused on these conversational interfaces and conversational UI. So we want to bring a lot of our learnings from Nibby into our telephony system as well, and start creating more and more voice-based bots using natural language understanding with speech recognition, speech analytics, looking at things like sentiment analysis. So you can have a very similar experience today. It's all text-based with Nibby. In the very short distant future, you'll be able to have a conversation with Alexa or through our telephony system, talk to these bots and be able to complete what you need to do. So this is going to be really big for us, and it will have a huge impact for our customers.
So love it, right?
Having more automation, having more chatbots, what does it mean for your customers?
It really means that they're going to have a much more seamless experience. So if we can train the AI and these chatbots and voice bots up, then the customers should be able to get to their answers a lot quicker and a lot more efficiently. And it means that our employees themselves, our contact center agents, they can focus on the much more trickier challenges that are coming through, instead of having to, say, order replacement cards and things like that. So
got it.
Love it. So take all the heavy lifting away, give it to the bots, and let the humans take care of the really complex things.
That's right, and provide great customer experience.
So thanks very much, Matt. We've heard about a real customer use case here, using chatbots, building it in production, using things like regression testing and CI/CD. So going past that, real proof of concept we see in some of these types of demos. And we've heard about what's emerging as well with things like voice, moving this into the contact center. So thanks for tuning in. That's Chatbots with NIB. Thanks, Matt. Thanks for co-hosts. And we'll see you next time at Sydney Summit.
Thank you.
Show.